welcome. I'm John, and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is off the cuff video, guys. What does it mean? I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills going on or anything like that. You won't see my intro symbol at the beginning. I do have a transition button which I'm going to be using today to show you a few bits and pieces. For all my regulars here, guys, I feel love. Thank you very much. Now, what is Weekly Wednesdays about? For everyone that's new, the Weekly Wednesdays are essentially a Q&A. It's primarily model focused and it's primarily GW stuff. There is terrain questions every so often. There is, sometimes information about what's going on around the workshop and with me and everything else, because we're all buddies. You basically ask me questions and I answer them. Okay, and there's some good questions this week. Wow. Okay. Are you going to do any more Ash Waste Necromander builds? Yes, I am. Quite a lot of the builds that I do for 40k can be used in Necromander anyway. I try and use them. I try and do them so that they can use in 40k Necromander or Kill Team. But with Ash Waste, it's a slightly different, setup. But there's still stuff that I'm gonna make that's gonna fit into all of them. But I am actually really enjoying. I really love making the 40k terrain. There's actually one on the go at the moment. It's not even huge. It's just, I'm recreating plastic terrain. I've done a video like that not so long ago from the necromander Kill Team box. Did I pronounce that correctly? The plasma coil, the little box of the plasma coil and the pipes coming out. That's what I'm recreating at the moment. And so far it looks good. There's a few bits on it that I need just to tidy up, but yeah, right. Am I going to collect Ash Waste? The problem with me, I wasn't expecting Ash Waste. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't expecting it as fast as it came out. And 220 euros for the box game. Don't get me wrong. There are deals out there to be found. But for me, it's like, wow, that's a huge amount of money. And it's probably the same for a lot of you. It's like, oh, some of you like myself will look, I like the terrain, don't get me wrong, the terrain's fantastic. But I could make that myself, And in fact, I've got a few bits of materials to start looking at making those huts. But for me, I've got a little change jar here, okay, and my change jar has got a 10th edition 40k label on it. That's what that's all for. That's the way that I stay for these big box games, because then it's not cutting into anything else. Any change I chuck in there at the end of the week. If I have €2, €3 in the wallet, it goes in there as well, because otherwise someone else will take it for something stupid. So at least this way over here is safe. I know what it's for. I think I've got about 60 or 70 euros in there so far already. But that is for 10th edition of Warhammer 40k. But to answer your question, I will be collecting Ash Wastes. But I'm probably gonna be one of those people that have to go and buy one box here, one box there, this, that, and do it bit by bit. Unfortunately, I did want to get the box game, but I didn't realise it was coming out that quickly. And 220 euros. I think Games Workshop are sort of setting themselves up here for a bit of a fall by selling the box games at that price. I'm not saying what's in it isn't worth it. It is. But not everyone can just come up with 220 quid. I mean, if you've got a credit card, great, you can whack it on the credit card and then pay it off every month. It's not a problem. But again, it's not everyone can do that. But yes, I'm going to start collecting them. I'm waffling on again, sorry. Okay. I was meant to do a studio tour video, but I haven't finished tidying everything up here. It's absolute mess at the moment. There's like 5 boxes down there, storage boxes. One of them has cardboard in there. I don't know why. There's a few other boxes of bits and pieces in it, and they all need to be condensed down and sorted out. But there will be a studio tour soon. Okay, this side of the workshop is sorted out. It's just that side. And I was meant to do a video as well. This is a while ago on my favourite terrain pieces that I've made for the channel, and I was going to do the ones that were undocumented that I made before I started the YouTube channel. That's still planned to do. It's just scared the life out of me. It's a beautiful enough cuff video. It's a tin tray that I put paint stripper in and put models into. It's just rattled across the floor. Oh, it scared the life out of me. Sorry, my favourite terrain pieces and the undocumented terrain pieces, that is planned to do. It's just I need to get this sorted out first, then take them all out and to film that video, then put them all back. So I need basically a day once this is all tied up just to do that, because there is a lot of fiddle fighting around and opening this box up and taking, because you'll be very surprised at some of the pieces that I absolutely love. Very surprised. But anyway, also just let you guys know, before I've been open for terrain commissions and stuff like that, yeah, that's always been the same. That's always been the case, not changed. But someone actually said to me, and this is on Messenger, so I'm not going to say who it was, but they said to me, why don't you do commission let's builds? As in, you build a kit for someone and they give you, you know, they pay you, or they give you items and, you know, model items, paints, whatever. You know, and if it's not a kit that you have, then you film it for the channel. It's great, it helps everyone. That's not actually a bad idea, you know, so thank you for that. It's a great idea. So I'm now open for commission let's builds and commission painting. So, you know, if you want something painted battle ready and you want to wash it yourself and do highlights on yourself, then that's fine. If you want it done because you can't paint, or you don't want to paint, or, you know, there's certain aspects of a model that intimidate you a little bit, not a problem. Again, with the builds, because I'm doing a lot of, you know, let's builds, if you don't have time to put model together, let's say you work most of the week, you have Sunday is your hobby day, but you either play a game or you're gluing and painting, you know, and you're playing a game every week or every 2 weeks, you know, just chuck me a message, you know, on here, comment on here, and we'll make contact, or contact me via Messenger, and we'll have a chat about, you know, bits and pieces. Don't panic. I don't pull people's pants down over the price of things, you know, because like I said before, we're all wargamers, you know. So if I can do something for you, or if you can pay me to do something for you that I enjoy doing, you know, I'm not gonna take the piss or anything like that. So don't, you know. Okay. What should I do with the Imperium Indominus Heroes that are the same? How can I make them look different? I know what you're talking about with this question, because when you're getting the Indominus box, you're getting X, Y, Z. Imperium magazine, you're getting some of the same heroes, both for the Necrons and the Space Marines. Now, I read this question, when was it? I think it was Thursday or Friday. So now I've actually had to go and dig the other one out today that I painted, because I've got 2 lieutenants. One's painted, which I've done a let's build and a painted video on. The other one I actually built the other day. Didn't bother. Now it's raining. Didn't bother filming it because I've already done a let's build on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you down here and show you these. Okay, same model, just slightly different posed, and they look actually totally different. Okay, so bear with me. So here we are, guys. So the same lieutenant, yeah. Now, even with this one, I don't think his shield's meant to be up there. I think his shield's meant to be down a bit more. But as you can see, he's aiming his gun down. He's aiming his gun up. Yeah. Got the shield at a sort of weird angle. So it looks like he's shooting at something up on a ledge. It looks like he's just shooting something. He's shooting something lower than him. that's the best way to tell the two apart, is by just slightly different pose. You know, like with Space Marines, if it's the same chapter, you can't really paint them differently. When you could paint the crest on his head, yeah, a different colour to give you different lieutenants. But that's probably the best way to do it. Some models like the Librarian and Phobos Armor, yeah, there's very little way of doing that. You're best off just doing paint jobs slightly different with the cloak and stuff like that to tell the difference. But yeah, that's how I do it. Ignore the heretic cultists in the background. That's something I'm working on off camera. Right, but whilst I'm down here, actually, right, sorry, I had to wait for the rain to pass over. Still coming down, but not too bad. I've got a box here. Okay, there's a multitude of models in there, and what I want to do is I want you guys to comment on this video and vote which one of these models in here you want me to paint for next Monday. Now, the voting will start as soon as this goes up online, and I'll count the votes at 12 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Okay, the reason is because then if it's something that I look and go, oh, that's going to take me a good bit of time, I can actually then start working on it over the weekend. So I'm not pressed on Monday to try and rush through it. There is one set of terrain here, and of that terrain, one bit of that terrain still needs to be built. One is prime, one is here to be primed, one still needs to be built, which is not a big issue. It's like an hour to put it together. There's a couple of Space Marine heroes, a Necron hero, an old fantasy Warhammer unit. I've got one model in here, but there's a unit of, I think it's 8 of them. Nice. And then there's a fantasy hero. In the event that nobody votes, because sometimes you do these things and the first couple of times nobody goes into it, oh no, then I'll just line them on the table, put a dice next to them and roll d6. I film it, and that's the one I'm painting, and then I'll paint it for Monday, sorry. In the event of a tie, the voting tie, I would then put those two models down and roll d6, yeah, and that's the one I'll paint. Now, with that said, some people are going to prefer to see Space Marines painted or Necrons painted, or, you know, whatever it is in the box every week. But it all needs to be painted. All of it needs to be painted. Also, there is a wild card. Okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you what the wild card is. I've got it over here. I'm not even going to show you what it is. So if you vote for the wild card, and that wins, that's the one that's going to be. Okay? And if the wild card wins, it will be, this is the wild card. You know, here it is. Now, so at the moment, it's just GW stuff. I do have other stuff that's not GW, which I will start putting together as well. Again, I won't be able to let's build on them because it's not, I don't know if those companies still exist, or there's not much to do. I think it's just a body, an arm, and then it goes on its ride or in its base or wherever it is. So, okay, so I'm going to bring you down and show you these, and then we'll vote. You guys can vote rest of today, tomorrow, and I'll count the votes Friday at 12 midday. Okay, I won't even announce who's won. And the other thing is, if you want to throw a vote on it, do not message me on Messenger for a vote on this video. Yeah, anything thrown to me on Messenger to do with the votes, I won't count them. Okay. Right, so here's what we have. We have this one. Now I've got one primed already. I've got one to glue, but it won't be one that I'm painting. It'll be all 3 of these, the crates and the barrels. Okay, because the crates and barrels are straightforward, as simple as anything. Again, you won't see me paint every single one of these. You'll see me paint one crate, and then I'll paint the rest off camera. You'll see me paint one barrel, and I'll paint the rest off camera. You'll see me paint one of these, and I'll paint the rest off camera. The other 2 off camera. So there's that. There's this delightful lady. Yeah, This is Valkyrie that I done a let's build on her the other day. It's Chaos Knights. Okay. Now, some of you are going to say, John, that's a pink, isn't it? That's actually a metallic-y red. Okay. The lighting's not that great. Hold on a second. Let me just spin around. The light here. Yeah, that's a metallic-y red. Okay. Now, the reason I went with that one, because I've got other models of unit that are not painted, but the reason I went with that one is so you can see how they're going to start to come along before I add more layers to them. Then we've got this monstrosity of a beast. This is the Illumina, who I done a let's build on, I think it was last week. You got this guy, I believe he's a Space Marine Primaris captain. Yeah. He's from the Imperial magazine. This one is from the Indominus box. I believe also it's a Primaris captain. He's the one that has the amazing, if it's going to zoom in and focus in on for me. Let me spin around again, get the light. He has an amazing Necron model on his base. Yeah. So guys, there's what we got to vote on for you guys. Right. So you guys get voting. I have one more question from Johnson here, I think it is. What is your favourite top 3 40k factions and why? I think the question is a bit longer than that, but it's just the breakdown of it. I'm not going to cop out, okay, when I say this. Don't start, I was on your copping out of the answering the question. I don't have a top 3 favourite. I'll tell you why. Every single faction, army, has something that I absolutely love, okay? And there's some of them have parts I don't like, but let's run through them. If I forget a faction, guys, chuck on below and remind me, and I'll address it next week. Start with the Custodes. I'm not a big fan of the Custodes. However, I do like their plumes, and I like their axes with the storm bubbles on it. I like that. I love, absolutely love, their jet bikes that they ride. I love the look of their tanks with the gold and the red. I just think they're fantastic. Genesee the Cults. I was never a fan of them. I understand why they have to, be an army and why they're part of, 40k now. But watching a few games of Genesee the Cults versus this faction, I actually quite like them. And just the mutation fact on the models, I think is actually amazing. And for me, looking at them with some contrast paint and some dry brushing of colours that contrast that colour of contrast paint is going to look fantastic. Drukhari, again, I wasn't never a fan of Drukhari until 9th edition. When they started bringing out the new models for them, I was like, oh, actually, now I really like them. I like the Helions, I think they're called, but they're the little flying platform, and they're on there with the blades, and I think they look fantastic. I do like a few of the other models as well. I think they're absolutely fantastic. The Eldari, love them. I absolutely love them. The first ever battle report I ever saw was Eldari versus Orcs, and I absolutely loved them from that moment. I've got a few Eldari models, done, as you guys have seen. I've got a heap down here, old lead models. They're in paint stripper. That should have been emptied a long time ago. They haven't been, but they should be fine because it hasn't been disturbed. It's just sitting there, but I need to get them out and get them cleaned up and get them based and start working on them. Absolutely love them. I'm not a big fan of the new Warwalker with the front carapace, the front cockpit part. One of you is probably going to comment and say, no, you don't need to add that if you don't want to. I'm a big fan of the old version where the guy was sitting there and you could see him. I like that. Not a big fan of the Wraith Knight, the big, massive. I'm not a big fan of that model, but the rest of it I absolutely love. Where are we? I'm not even going to say about the squats, League of Voltan, whatever it's called, because these are new models that I haven't had a chance to. I've seen a few of them here and there, but they haven't released the range yet for us to have a good look at them. Space Marines. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love Space Marines. I think they're just amazing. The only thing I don't like about my Space Marine chapter is the painting of the chapter colours are a bit of a pain in the arse, but when you get that right, the rest is fine. But I absolutely love Space Marines. I love the whole idea of just these power armoured monstrosities marching across the battlefield, and just, I love it. Astra Militarum. Actually, sorry, go back to Space Marines. Also, I'm going to include Grey Knights here. I know they're not technically Space Marines, but I'm going to include them in there. I absolutely love them as well. Grey Knights, my top Space Marine chapters. I love the Grey Knights. I love Space Wolves. I do like Blood Angels, but for me, there's more freakish stuff that you could have done with Blood Angel Army. Like, you could add someone riding like a small bat or something, or you could have someone riding something really more like vampiric. They could have even done models where they're suffering mutations and they're actually turning into half bat, half human. Much like with the Space Wolves, where you got the Wolfkin, I think it is, or the Wolfen, where they're half wolf, they're like a werewolf. That'd be absolutely fantastic. The only thing with the Space Marines as well, I'd love to see them riding jet bikes like the Custodians do. I think they would look absolutely fantastic. But anyway, Orcs, absolutely love Orcs. Love them. I love the whole idea of mass mobs of boys just going across the battlefield, and just, I love that. I love that sort of horde army. Necrons. Well, if you're new here, you'll be asking me for this answer. If you're a regular here, you already know the answer to this one. I love them. I didn't like them at first, and then when 9th edition came out and I got the Indominus box and started putting them together, I was like, actually, these are pretty easy to put together, nice to paint. Now I've got a huge amount of them. I'm like, oh, actually, that's quite tasty. Tyranids. I love Tyranids. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. I love this whole xenomorph, incursion where, you have just hordes of Tyranids and bioforms coming towards you. One of the old mission reports I used to love reading whenever they published it in the White Dwarf was the Tyranid attack. And the rules for that were, you have 6 turns of the game, and the Tyranid player can only get victory by wiping out the enemy. Okay, and the other player has to have at least one model surviving. And let's say there's a unit, let's say there's 3 units of 10 Gen Seekers, and each one suffers wounds, but there's the models that are taken off as dead are enough to form another unit. But at the beginning of the Tyranid player turn, on a 4+, they come back onto the field as like the next wave. I love that whole swarm of everything. Astra Militarum, I absolutely love them. The only thing that puts me off the Astra Militarum, or the Imperial Guard, as you want to call them, is painted skin. It's the only thing that puts me off, because there's a lot of face skin and stuff like that on the show. Apart from that, I love them. Just the massive tanks, and fantastic. Sister Sororitas. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Sisters of Battle before, but actually 10th edition, there was some amazing models, and I actually really like them. People are taking the piss out of the Paragon suit, I think it's called, saying it's a baby carrier. I think it looks fantastic. And in terms of like lore and everything else, it would make sense for them to have something like that. It's not quite a dreadnought, but it's along the same sort of lines. It's not quite the Grey Knights have another one with a big construct with the hammer and the gun, and it's along the same sort of lines, which makes sense. Chaos Space Marines. I love them. I absolutely love the Chaos Space Marines, and I'm a little bit annoyed with myself because I haven't, again, gone through and started basing everything up and having, mass Chaos Space Marine units up. And the new models that they've shown are absolutely fantastic. Amazing. as my main man said, the body horror on it is fantastic. It is actually really, really amazing. There is something I can see them doing, maybe in 10th edition, and there's a lot of hoo-ha about, oh, what's going to be in the 10th edition box. There's rumours there's going to be Emperor's Children. Okay, that's one of the big rumours. It's going to be Emperor's Children, and I'm hoping it's not Space Marines. I'm hoping it's something like Eldari or something like that, but it will probably be Space Marines and Emperor's Children, which again, not a problem for me. One thing I think they will do in 10th edition, I'm going to show you this dude now. That is a Chaos Cultist. Yeah, I reckon in 10th edition there is going to be a Chaos Cultist Codex, much in the same way as Genocide Occults. So with Genocide Occults, they start taking over a planet, and that attracts the Tyranid Hive fleet because they can, you know, the biomass is there, and let's go there. I think with the cultists, it'll be the same sort of principle, but that would, you know, they would be able to summon demons in, and they can have Chaos Space Marines as allies and stuff like that. That's what I think they could do in 10th edition. I hope they do, because it'll be, you know, another interesting army and be another more models. Demons. I love demons. If you haven't seen my Children of Chaos video, guys, it's on the weekly Wednesday playlist. Just scroll down, you'll see me holding Skull Taker, and you just go and have a look at that, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, I've got a heap of demon models in my pile of shame. I am actually going to glue them up to be for 40k, because I know that the demons will be coming probably within the next 3 or 4 months. So I want to have them up and ready for that. There's only one problem. Well, there's 2 problems with the demons. The first one is there's going to be new sculpts. I guarantee you there's going to be new sculpts of like horrors or bloodletters or demonettes or whatever. There's going to be new sculpts. And the second problem is, at the moment, I was looking on GW website, the bloodletters and the horrors are on 32mm basis. Okay, with the pink horrors on 32mm basis, whereas the demonettes are still on 25mm basis. I didn't look at the plague bearers, but they're still on 25mm basis. And my guess is going to be they're all going to be on 32mm basis, or the demonettes might be on 28mm basis, just because represent they're faster and shorter, and the others are bigger and bulkier. But that's my guessing. Now, Knights, Imperial Knights on Chaos Knights, I haven't actually played a game with them. I like the models. I think the models are fantastic. I mean, for me, if I was doing a let's build on one of those Knights, it could be like a 2-hour video, because of the amount of parts that, you know, go onto it. But, you know, that's what it is. But I do like them. I like the idea, I like the concept, I do like them. I'm a big fan of the old Titans Legion and Epic 40k and all that sort of stuff. So I do like the Imperial Knights. And it's about time that they actually made the kits to go on into games of 40k. There's also 10th edition was penciled in, from my understanding, to be summer next year. But that could be pushed back to the year after. So I'm just saying that now. So if it does come out summer next year, and you're doing what I do, just tuck and change to one side, you know, you'll be ready for it. But I don't know, because World Eaters, is it World Eaters, the Cool Night Chaos Space Marines? I keep getting confused between Word Bearers and World Eaters. But anyway, they're rumoured to be coming out right at the end of the 9th edition. So when the 10th edition drops, then it's a month or 2 after that. And something else I want to say to you as well is, like the Eldari, for example, you have all these new sculpts, but there's some, it's not a full range refresh. I think when 10th edition drops and the Eldari Codex comes out for 10th edition, then you'll have new sculpts for like the Warp Spiders, Howling Banshees, Fire Dragons, all those sort of things. So, you know, if you like the models that are there now, pick some of them up. Same with the Space Marines, because when 10th edition does drop, there'll be new sculpts. So the ones you have now, say Librarian and Phobos Armor, go back to him again. One we have now is fantastic, but then there'll be new sculpts of him in different position, different pose, and that's always nice to have, you know, more than one. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. It means a lot to me. I have rabbited on a bit, but that was a big question, and I hope I got every single faction. I think I did. If I didn't, chuck comment below and I'll address it next week. I should have actually had the Indominus book here and just flicked through to armies, but anyway. Admech. That's one I just remembered. Admech. I like them. I wasn't a big fan at first, but I do like them. Since painting up the Tech Beast Dominus, yeah, I do like them. I can't really fault them, really. They're sort of cyborgs. I like that. It's not. I'm not cutting the answer short just to try and get off, but I'm just thought bad and then. Sorry. So, guys, please, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, turn your notifications, and please vote on one of these models. I'll only accept 1 vote per person, so please vote on here. And so please don't say to me, "Oh, paint this one or this one." Yeah, just pick one, and we'll go with that one, because whatever one's staying there will still be in there come next week, Wednesday, to vote on again. I will count the votes on Friday at midday, and that's the model it is. Any votes that come after that won't count. So, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.